What's going on YouTube? YamaYari, welcome to the channel. And in today's episode, we're working again on my brand new 2022 Benelli 135 TNT, and we're gonna be doing a bar swap. I'm changing out the stock bars for some upgraded bars. We're gonna change out the grips, possibly put on some bar mirrors if they fit, and work on the bike a little bit YamaYari style. So if you guys want, stick around, stay tuned, and enjoy. If any of this content interests you, do me a huge favor. Don't forget to hit the like button. If you want, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell notification to be notified of all new uploads. Alright guys, so to start off the video, let me show you these bars I got. These are the Pro Taper Mini High Contours in gold. I had never seen a pair of gold bars. They looked really good on Cycle Gear's website. I will leave the link in the description section of the video, but these things look absolutely beautiful in person. And I ended up getting some domino grips. I just went with the black and red to kind of match the scheme of the bike. So guys, the stock bars on this bike are not that bad. Besides being kind of boring with just this like silver looking, aluminum color, they actually feel pretty good. I did ride already about 100 miles with these bars and I was not, dissatisfied with them or anything like that. I just think they look kind of boring. So I went with the Pro Taper in gold to kind of give it some bling up here. But at the same time, my only concern is the distance. Now the new bars are a lot longer. They're actually past this bar end. So I may have to cut them just a little bit because once I put the bar in mirrors, I don't want it sticking too far out, but it's gonna look so beautiful here with the gold. Now down the road I may end up powder coating this black and possibly the clamps that are down here just to make it look a little nicer, but for now I don't think it's a big deal. Plus it's got this cover that says Pro Taper that's gonna be here, so you're probably not gonna see it anyway. But first thing what we're gonna do is remove these bar ends, remove the controls on both sides, and probably have to cut this grip in order to slide the throttle body off once I get to that point, but we'll take it step by step and we'll go from there. First thing we're gonna do is remove these bar ends with a 5mm Allen key. Next thing I'm gonna do is take off the levers. These are 8mm sockets, so go ahead and get your 8mm and remove these. Once you remove these, do not lose these guys. Carefully go ahead and remove this because this could fall. I was kind of brave, but this could fall a little bit. Just go ahead and disconnect this and lightly just lay it down. Try not to hit any of the plastics on the bike. Just leave it sit there and go ahead and do the other side. Alright guys, each control has two sets of screws here on the bottom. There's one up here and there's one in the back. Go ahead and remove those and this should be able to come apart. Be careful not to scratch the bike. Now this just kind of should just lift up, just like that, and boom. Go ahead and drop this carefully. Oh, don't do that. Luckily that screw's light. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna slide this throttle tube, if I can, off the whole bike. Oh, don't do that. Boom. Yeah, that worked. Safe. So guys, you see this little stud that's here? These bars do come with holes. There's one here and there's one on this side. You will have to drill holes in the new bars because they have to be there in order for that control to lock in place once you tighten it up. So we will have to drill new holes, but we'll get to that in a little bit. One thing I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna reuse this grip. I'm just gonna go ahead and take a razor blade and cut it straight down so I can get to the throttle tube. And there you go. Guys, to remove this bars, you're gonna go ahead and have to remove this. This is a 6mm key on each one. Go ahead and loosen them up to take these off. So guys, I just wanted to show you the difference between the bars. As you can see, this is definitely a little wider here, and the curve is not so aggressive as the stock bar. So you can see how the stock bar kind of curves up a little more aggressive. This one is not as aggressive, and this one's kind of pitched a little higher going out versus this one kind of tapers and goes a little flat, which is probably going to work out for me awesome. As you can see, that's what I was talking about too, is the distance on these. I mean, I feel like I need to cut them first line, just that way they're kind of close, because I don't want to put these on and then the bar and mirrors and then have it way out here. I don't really think me cutting it is going to make that big of a difference, but that's what I'm possibly going to do. It's going to go ahead and cut them right there on that, you know, most inner line right there, and both sides, and definitely end up trying to match that hole that's there onto this bar, so that way the grips and controls are basically in the same place. All right guys, quick update. You see there's 3 dots there. I'm gonna end up going with the center one. Why? Because once I put the clamp on the actual control switch, it lines up perfectly right there to that 4th line that I'm gonna use right here. So I want the throttle tube to be just barely at the end of that line, and in order for that switch to fit, I had to make another dot. So I'm gonna use that center one as the guide. That way the control fits and the throttle tube falls right there on that 4th line. So I got this Husky pipe cutter. Hopefully this will work. If not, I'll get my grinder. But we're gonna go ahead and line this baby up, tighten it up a little bit, and then you go in a circle. You actually spin it until you feel it get kind of loose, and then tighten it up a little more. Woo! And there it is. All right guys, both ends are cut. That was actually pretty difficult. Gotta put a lot of elbow grease. And we will continue. I'm gonna probably mount this on the bike so I can drill the holes. It'll probably be a lot easier. Now guys, one thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit on the bike and just kind of get a feel of where these bars, oh man, these feel good. Just kind of get an idea of where these bars are gonna sit, and because I don't want them like too forward, I don't want them too back, you know what I mean? I kind of want them in a decent location. So definitely have your Allen keys ready and just kind of position the bar where you want it, and then go ahead and cinch it down and move forward. All right guys, I went ahead and like pre-assembled this control here to line up to make sure that that middle hole is the one I'm gonna use, and so far it's been pretty good. So what I did was I slid on this throttle body here, or this throttle tube, and just lined it up to where I felt was perfect, you know, basically something close to that, and then put the throttle housing back on and made sure that that little nipple lined up perfectly with that center hole, and it is pretty close. So I'm pretty confident that this is going to work, so wish me luck. Alright guys, you don't have to go completely through the bar. That little nipple on that control is about 1/8 of an inch, so you just got to go deep enough so when you put it on here it actually grips. The other side's already done, this one's done, so I'll go ahead and reassemble it and we'll go from there. So guys, the nipples that are here and the piece that I cut off were really restricting the grip from sliding on. So I'm hoping now that I've sanded these down, I actually took sandpaper and sanded down those little nipples. I actually cut that off at the end. So I'm hoping now I'll be able to slide it on without a problem. I'm gonna use this grip glue. Some people are like, oh man, you don't need it, hairspray works just as good. I like to use the glue. I had the GoPro off because I was kind of wrestling with it for a little while, but it's just because this grip has like this rough texture on the metal to keep it from slipping, and man, it was tough. We just got to put the levers on now and we're good to go. All right guys, here's one bar, and as you can see, they're pretty simple. You slide this in, you tighten it up, it actually grips onto the inside of the bar, and then you just put the mirror the way you want. And I just put it there temporarily just to see what it looks like, because last time I did this, I took the stock mirrors off, and then guess what? It didn't work. I could already tell you, these mirrors really don't even work for me. But now that I have these, I can actually see straight back, which you can actually see the truck. There you go. So these barns are gonna work really well. I was thinking about putting them up, but I don't know, I kind of like it down, but I'll play with it. So far, they're going on pretty good. So now I'm gonna remove these here in a second and finish with the installation. All right, guys, bar and mirrors are on. They look really, really good. Now I can go ahead and remove these old bars, and I'll keep them in a safe place just in case I ever want to reverse the setup with the original bars and the original mirrors. Some people don't like bar ends, but everything so far is good. Nice and tight here, nice and tight here. All the controls adjusted on both sides, nice and tight, and the bar ends are in place. So now all we have to do is remove the stock mirror, and we're pretty much done. Just grab a crescent wrench. All right, there's one. You don't even need a crescent wrench, guys. You could probably just do that. Just bang it and it comes off. All right, guys, there is the final product. The bars are installed, bar and mirrors installed, and the new grip. I do have to wipe everything down. It's got my fingerprints and glue and stuff all over it, but for the most part, guys, this thing looks a lot cleaner. I will get with TST because they have little block offs for these holes that look really nice. They kind of match the exact piece that I have back here, which are these little rivets. So they have them online for like, I think it's probably like 10 bucks, but it'll just give it a nice clean look. I'll probably do the same red so it's nice and matching. And there you go. It gives it like a whole different profile now on the front. Now that all that bulkiness is out the way, I could actually see out of my mirrors, because when I sit on the bike before, my shoulder was basically in line perfectly, so I had to like drop my elbow a little bit just to see behind me. But now with these bar ends, as you can see, guys, you can actually see my hand here in the background, so it is going to be super nice to be able to ride and actually see behind me safely. And kind of clears up the front here, gives it a nice view, so definitely going to be a lot more pleasant when I record. And guys, there it is, the bars are installed, the Pro Taper Contour mini highs with the bar and mirrors. I did get these bar and mirrors off of Amazon a long time ago when I had my Husqvarna, and I don't know who makes them. I think they're the MZS line that Amazon has. They sell a bunch of parts online there for miscellaneous stuff like bar and mirrors, levers, things like that. And I think they do sell levers for the Benelli, which I may end up picking up because these bar and mirrors are pretty solid. I mean, they're on here. I mean, unless you bang them, they ain't going nowhere. Guys, you can do this yourself. Super easy. No need to take it to a mechanic. Just take your time, look at things, you know, over and over again, make sure everything's nice and secure, and you should be okay. I would like it, guys, if this stuff interests you, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell notification to be notified of all my uploads. And guys, be blessed. Take it easy on them filthy streets, guys. And remember, you got to work on Monday. Peace.